The floors at Oak Ridge Elementary never sparkled, not until Henry started working there. Asterisk a single dad with calloused hands and a tired smile. Henry worked the night shift as a janitor, but he was never just the guy with the mop. He always carried lollipops in his pocket, repaired wobbly desks, and left little smiley notes for kids having a hard day. Asterisk but there was one girl he never saw smile or speak. Her name was Emily. 6 years old, pale, big, sad eyes, always alone. Asterisk while other children ran and laughed. She sat by herself at the edge of the playground, clutching a worn-out plush rabbit like it was the only thing left in the world. She trusted. Asterisk rumor had it, Emily hadn't spoken a word since her father died in a car accident 2 years ago. Her mom, Victoria Langston, was a corporate powerhouse, CEO of a global tech company, feared by boardrooms and untouched by emotions. They said. Asterisk every day. Victoria's sleek black car would pull up like clockwork. Her assistant would escort Emily inside. No hugs, no words, just silence. Henry noticed, not because he was nosy, but because he understood silence. Asterisk he'd been there once. After his wife passed away, his own son, Max, had gone quiet too. For months, so Henry didn't approach Emily as a janitor. He approached her as a dad. Asterisk one day, during recess, he quietly sat on the bench beside her, said nothing, just pulled out a small bag of sidewalk chalk and placed it between them. Asterisk Emily looked at him. Curious, he smiled and pointed to the pavement. Want to help me draw a rocket ship? Asterisk she hesitated, then slowly picked up a piece of purple chalk. Asterisk every day after that, he left her something new. Bubbles, paper planes, glitter pins. Asterisk no pressure, no questions, just presence. Asterisk one rainy afternoon, he found her in the hallway, staring at a wall covered in children's drawings. Her little rabbit was tucked under her arm, soggy from the drizzle. Henry gently knelt beside her. You like art? He asked. Asterisk she didn't answer, just looked up and nodded. He pulled out a small sketchpad from his bag. I saved this from the trash. Figured it still had some magic left in it. Asterisk she reached for it slowly. Touched it like it was a treasure. Asterisk, and for the first time, she smiled. What Henry didn't know, what nobody knew, was that Victoria Langston had started arriving early. Asterisk she stayed hidden in her car, watching through the tinted window, watching a man in a janitor's uniform break down the walls. She'd tried and failed to reach her daughter through. Asterisk Victoria had tried therapy, medication, elite specialists. All sterile, all transactional. None of them worked. Asterisk but this man, this stranger with no money, no title, was somehow reaching her little girl. 1 week later, something remarkable happened. Henry was sweeping the floor in the art room. The school was nearly empty. Rain tapped against the windows. Emily tiptoed in quietly, holding her sketchpad. He looked up and smiled. Hey there, Picasso. Asterisk she hesitated, then opened the pad. Asterisk there was a drawing. 2 stick figures. One, tall, with a mop. The other small, holding a bunny. Below it, scrawled in crayon, were 2 words. Thank you. And then, barely louder than a whisper, she said it aloud. Thank you. Asterisk Henry froze, eyes wide. Asterisk he knelt slowly. Did you just? She nodded, smiled, and somewhere outside, in the shadow of the hallway, Victoria Langston dropped to her knees and wept. Asterisk her assistant stood nearby. Stunned, I've never seen her cry, she whispered. Victoria didn't speak, just wiped her eyes and watched her daughter speak again for the first time in years. The next day, Victoria came to school alone. No car, no assistant, just her and a scarf soaked in nervous sweat. She found Henry near the lockers. I'm Victoria Langston, she said stiffly. Asterisk I know. Henry smiled. You run Langtech, right? Makes half the phones in this school. Asterisk she chuckled dryly. And yet I couldn't even get my own daughter to say a word. Asterisk she paused, her voice cracked. Asterisk but you did. Asterisk Henry looked at her gently. I didn't do anything special. I just showed up. Every day. Asterisk she studied him. This man with old sneakers and kindness in his eyes. Asterisk would you? She hesitated. Would you consider being her art mentor? After school, I'll pay. Asterisk he shook his head. You don't need to pay me. Asterisk I do, she said, but not in money. I just want to learn how to be what you were to her, someone safe. Henry looked at her for a long time, and then, he nodded. Months passed. Asterisk Emily started speaking more. She laughed, made friends, even entered a school art competition, and won. Asterisk Victoria didn't miss a single event after that. She even quit to boards and started volunteering for school programs. Asterisk one crisp autumn day. Victoria walked up to Henry at the schoolyard. Asterisk my daughter once lost her voice when she lost her father, she said, but you gave it back. Henry looked at her. She just needed someone to hear her, even in silence. Victoria blinked back tears and extended her hand. 2 new beginnings. He shook it warmly. To kindness, he replied, Narrator, asterisk sometimes. The most powerful change doesn't come from wealth, titles, or therapy, asterisk, but from listening. From sitting beside someone quietly until they're ready to speak. Asterisk in a world that rushes and forgets. Be the one who stays, because even whispers can echo forever. Weeks later, Henry walked through the school halls with Max by his side, the two sharing a sandwich between laughs. Emily spotted them and ran up, no longer the quiet shadow she once was. Asterisk Mr. Henry. Look what I made, she shouted, holding up a colorful painting of 3 people and a rabbit flying on a balloon. Asterisk Henry crouched, eyes wide. Is that us? Asterisk, she nodded proudly. You, me, and Max, and that's Mr. Floppy, she said, pointing to the bunny. Asterisk Max grinned. I've been promoted to balloon captain. Ha! Asterisk Emily giggled, a sound Henry still wasn't used to, and never took for granted. Asterisk from across the hallway, Victoria watched, but this time, not from behind tinted glass or cornered shadows. She stood in the open, coffee in hand, hair windblown and eyes soft. Asterisk later that afternoon. As the sun dipped behind the school's old brick walls, she joined Henry on the bench. Near the playground, asterisk, I've been thinking, she began, brushing leaves off her coat, about starting a foundation for children dealing with trauma and grief, art therapy, mentorship, things that actually work. Asterisk, Henry looked surprised. That's incredible. You'd be helping a lot of Emilys out there. Asterisk, she looked at him, her voice quieter now. I was hoping you'd help me run it. Asterisk, Henry paused. He glanced at Max playing tag with Emily, both of them laughing without a care. Asterisk, I clean floors, Victoria. Asterisk, she smiled, and you rebuilt a child's soul. What title could possibly matter more than